Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. And in this video we have recorded, it was actually recorded during our live stream that we do this last Tuesday. So, we do a live stream every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, when we go over scheduling information, dealer news updates, recalls, and usually have a topic of the week and some other things. But more importantly, we answer your questions live, the community's questions. So we usually have about a couple hundred people in there each week that are watching this live and asking us questions about their order or, how they should order their vehicle and that kind of thing. And that's what we're here for, is to help you answer any questions. So if you want to join us live, and if you have any questions about scheduling, we can answer them live for you. Also, if you drop them down below, we'll try to get those responded as well. But feel free to come back next week. Again, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, if you want to join us live and ask your question, and we can answer your individual question if it hasn't been answered in the past. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and I hope to see you next week. Okay, welcome to this week's scheduling here. And, of course, we're going to go over all the different models, and this is in reference to what's scheduling for this week only. We do have some notes for what Ford's goal is for the month, and I'll highlight those when we talk about them, but this is for this week's scheduling alone. I think it's about the second week of allocations for most dealers, and so some dealers still have allocations to be used, and I know most of last week's scheduling was retail only, and we're going to talk about that. So first, let's get into our terminology here so we don't miss anything. All right. So first off, order bank. So an order is placed, whether it be a stock or retail order, in the order bank. Ford's order bank, we call it Webdo. So we put all those orders in there. A customer placed order, a retail order is a customer placed order. So it means you're placing that order because you plan to take that when it comes in. So it's ordered specifically for you with the options that you want. Stock orders are orders placed by the dealer for stock or lot inventory. And a lot of times dealers will order those specific ways because they know what customers are kind of wanting, and know they're the quick turn. They're the ones that customers want, and they'll sell fast. Priority code. That's a priority a dealer is giving to the orders. Anywhere from, it's changed now, 03 to 19 is a retail order, that customer placed order. 20 to 80 is a stock order. Lower the better. It's kind of like golf. So you want to have a low number. So all retail orders are always going to be looked at first. And if you have even an 03, it's going to be looked at before a 4, 5, 6 with the same order configuration. I want to emphasize that. Scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in future months. Ford schedules orders for each of the different factories on Thursdays, typically. We do see Lightning sometimes schedule other days from time to time, but typically Thursday is the day that orders are scheduled. Allocations, Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. An order cannot be scheduled without a dealer having an allocation. For instance, we have 0 Maverick allocations, so we'll not have, none of our Maverick orders will get scheduled this month because we have 0 allocations. Dealer earns allocations based on their sales for each model year within their region, but also with the consideration that Ford looks at your current inventory, what you have in transit and such, and subtracts from that number. So you earn the allocations by your sales volume, but then they'll say, this is how many, we know you need, but based on your current inventory, this is how many you have, here how many you have coming in and such. And so they'll do some subtraction and say, here's how many allocations you're going to get this month. That's why it can change from month to month. Constraints, those are options that are in short supply or may take longer to build. Capacity, that kind of goes along with the capacity, the planned production rate for a given motor trim and option. So sometimes if the demand is higher than the capacity, that's where that constraint comes into play there. Job 1 and 2, Ford will shift production runs into 2 different runs in the model year. They'll split a job 1 and a job 2. We're going to talk about F-150 job 2 is starting this month, and we're going to talk a little about F-150 later, but that's where that comes into play because there are some job 2 options and availabilities that aren't available until job 2 starts. Balance out, that's the end of production or balance out. So we actually have that in play going on in one of the models as well, as we'll talk about. So those are some of the terminologies and the wording that we'll be using for tonight. So 24 Mustangs, the first one we're going to talk about. So there are currently 925 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. So not too many. And then For the month, their plan is that 2% will be California Special and 45% GT. Is the kind of the breakdown. So they do plan to schedule this month for the weeks of April 1st through April 22nd. Exhausted availability for the Night Pony package, as well as option 64F. That's the 18-inch by 8-inch machine-faced wheel with the high gloss black painted pockets. That's the one that's standard on the 100A, 101A, 200A, and 201A. Also, the exhaust availability for the Dark Horse handling package. So they said this month that the handling package and the carbon fiber wheel would resume production. Well, it didn't take long. Everybody, all the Dark Horses wanted the handling package, so now it's in exhaust availability again. So I think Ford just needs to know that I think a lot of people on the Dark Horse are getting the handling package. But so if you have a handling package, it might struggle to get scheduled because of that constraint now. I think that's about it for Mustang. So moving on to 24 model year Escape. Oh, before we do, I forgot. 24 model year Mustang order banks are open up right now, so you can order a Mustang. 24 model year Escape. There's currently 250 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Not too many. The order banks are open up for all trim levels, including plug-in hybrid. The planned production for this month is 39% ST line, 45% active, 0% for hybrid. So if you have a hybrid order in, it's not going to get scheduled this month. It'll probably stay in there. They are not scheduling for this week. So no scheduling for Escape this week. 24 model year Bronco Sport. There's currently 234 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels. And you can order whatever you want. It's just there are some for this month alone. They pretty much said 0% will be 0% Big Ben or the freewheeling package with the convenience package will get scheduled. 0% Big Ben with the black appearance package will get scheduled, and 0% Badlands will get scheduled. So you might ask, what's that leave? Well, basically, Big Ben freewheeling without the convenience package, or Outer Banks premium package is okay. So you can get an Outer Banks. I guess that'd be your options there. So, and Heritage Edition as well. We got a couple of those on our lot, though. You can always get one of those. They are scheduling this week for production weeks of April 1st through April 22nd. Again, as I say, no scheduling for Badlands. We know it's a 0%. Limit availability for the tech package on the Outer Banks. So they are, looks like they are scheduling Outer Banks, limit availability for the tech package. But there aren't a lot of orders in there, so you should be okay there. And then exhaust availability for the black appearance package. We talked about that, as well as the standard Big Ben wheel and the, it says optional Badlands wheel too, but we already know that's not scheduling anyway. So, all right, that's all that for Bronco Sport. 24 model year Edge. That is 184 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are closed because it is balancing out this month. Of course, ST is already balanced out, so 0% of this month's production is ST, 25% SEL, 38% titanium trim. And then they are scheduling for this week for the weeks of April 1st to the 22nd. Limit availability for the SEL version, because they did try to schedule most of them last week. Also, limit availability for the wheel 64H, which is an 18-inch split spoke sparkle silver painted aluminum wheel. I think that's the SE wheel. Also, 64G, which is a 19-inch high gloss ebony black painted aluminum wheel. That's included in the black appearance package. And then wheel option 64X, which I think is the 20-inch premium gloss black painted aluminum wheel that's standard on the ST line, as well as wheel 64U, the 20-inch bright machine aluminum with the premium dark stainless painted pockets, which is optional on the titanium. So just because you see limited doesn't mean it's not scheduled at all. Again, limited availability, not zero availability, right? Or they do like they did on the Bronco Sport Badlands. So next is the 24 model year Ranger. There's currently 2,037 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, not including Raptor. Order banks are open up for the Ranger if you want to order one. They are scheduling this week for the weeks of April 1st through April 22nd. Again, dealer needs an allocation. If they have one, then you got pretty good chances there. All right. Next is a 24 model year Bronco. Currently 4,278 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, so not too many left there. Order banks are open up for all trim levels with the exception of Heritage and Heritage Limited. They are not available for scheduling and not even available for stock scheduling. So keep that in mind. See, Bronco, they are scheduling this. Let's see. This week's note here does say priority scheduling for Raptor, Heritage, Heritage Limited, and Everglades for the weeks of August 1st through August 22nd. And then it does say an important reminder on Raptor orders that the mix will be 70% optional beadlock wheel, 30% the standard wheel, 50% vinyl seats, and 50% leather. So keep that in mind. And for the month outside, actually, that'd be more for next week, that 75% of Bronco production will be hardtop, and 50% the 2.7 liter engine, and 30% Sasquatch capacity there for the month of April production. So next is the 24 model year Maverick. Currently, there's 13,836 unscheduled retail orders. So they're getting that down pretty good. Of that number, 9,131 are XL. Wow. That's 66% of the unscheduled orders are XL. So I'm going to give you my recommendations after I talk about this. Order banks are open up right now, even for the XL. I wouldn't recommend it if I were you, but there you go. They are scheduling this week for production weeks in April 1st through April 22nd, the week of. Limited availability for the black appearance package. That's option on the XLT and Lariat. Also, limited availability for the drop-in bed liner. It's okay because nobody wants it anyway. And an exhaust availability for the 2.5 hybrid. So that's a low possibility, as well as the XL, which we knew that. And then also the hard trifold bed cover. And like I say, take off bed covers, take all those off of your orders. It helps get them scheduled. So there you go. So my recommendation on Maverick is if you have an XL order, switch it over to XLT. What's the difference in price? Maybe $1,000 or $2,000 difference. For one, you'll get it faster. For two, you'll get a nice wheel on it. So if you plan on like, well, I can add a wheel. Well, how much a wheel is going to cost you? $1,000, something like that. So of the $2,000, about $1,000 of that's wheels. It's going to look a little bit nicer. It's going to look different. I would recommend if you're on an XL order out there, switch to XLT. It's probably going to take about 4 to 5 months to get all the XL orders scheduled for production. So just keep that in mind. If you have an XL order, it's going to take a little longer. So, and we actually do have 1 or 2 in stock here at McArthur. All right. 24 model year Explorer. Currently 228 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order bank is closed for 24 model year, which is what we're going to talk about for scheduling. 25 model year order banks are open up, but they're not scheduling 25 yet. So they are scheduling this week for 24 model year Explorer orders. They're balancing out for 24 model year. They're scheduling for weeks of April 1st through April 22nd. Limited availability for the base series, the limited, and the ST line. So their goal is about 50% XLT, and then also stop build on Platinum, ST line, King Ranch without the tow package. So you'll want to make sure if you have those configurations, those trim levels, that you have the tow package on. And then also stop build on Limiteds with the tow package. So if you have a Limited, you want to take the tow package off. Also limited availability for the 20-inch carbonized gray painted 10-spoke wheel that is included in the Sport Appearance package on the XLT. 18-inch 5-spoke sparkle silver painted aluminum wheel that's standard on the base and XLT is also limited availability. And the high gloss black painted aluminum wheel is standard on the Timberline. So exhaust availability for the 20-inch premium painted aluminum wheel. It's optional on the XLT 202A, standard on limited 300 and 301A, as well as the 21-inch bright machine face aluminum wheel with a luster nickel painted pockets. That's standard on the Platinum. And then the 20-inch machine aluminum wheel that with the painted pockets that's standard on the ST line and ST are also exhaust availability. So a lot of people ask, difference between limited availability and exhausted. Exhausted is worse than limited. But just because it's limited or exhausted doesn't mean you don't have a chance at all. It's just it's going to be extremely difficult for it to get scheduled. So they're going to be a low number, and a lot of it does have to do with your dealer as well. So like if you don't like if there's only a few orders, they want to fill. Ford wants to fulfill all dealers' allocations by scheduling orders to use those allocations that they've earned. So they don't want to carry allocations over. So if you have a dealer that maybe like on Explorer may only have one order with an exhaust availability item, they'll try to kind of give that order priority because they need to get that allocation scheduled. And if they only have one retail order, they'll want to go ahead and try to commit that to them. And so then they'll try to focus on that versus a stock one, right? So that's kind of how that works. 24 model year Expedition. There's currently 835 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 24 model year Expedition. This month, they're kind of the breakdown of theirs is 0%, 302A. That's your limit of 302A, 18% XLT. Also, they said the standard wheel is now available on the Platinum, which it was before you had to go up to the optional wheel. Now it's available. And they are going to try to schedule more 303As and above to get scheduled. So we're talking your Platinum, such like that. They want to get those scheduled and less XLT production. So you'll see XLT production is only 18%. So again, they want to try to schedule some of those upper trim levels. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of April 1st through April 22nd. All right, next is the 24 model year Mach-E. Ford originally told dealers that they weren't going to be scheduling or producing for April dates. They lied. They are. There's only 29 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. That means about 30 of those retail orders got scheduled last week. So order banks are open up for the Mach-E, including the GT, that new bronze appearance package, the new Mach-E Rally. You can order Mach-E Rally. It's a late availability. It will not get scheduled for a while, but you can place that order. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of April 1st through April 29th. All right, that's it on Mach-E. Okay, here's the big one. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna save it. We're gonna go to 24 model year F-150. So throwing you off here. There's currently 6,443 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 24 model year, including the trimmer. All the job 2 things can be ordered now. So if you're wanting a trimmer, that can be ordered. So you can order a trimmer. It opened up on Friday. We ordered some of those. Also, the Pro Access tailgate that is part of that bed utility package for the Lariat, as well as the King Ranch in Platinum and the 402A trimmer, that will be available now. So when you order for scheduling from here on out is going to be for job 2. So they, in fact, they are not scheduling this week for F-150 because they weren't quite ready for job 2 scheduling. And so they held off. So everything here on out, if you are already scheduled for a build in an F-150, you have a Lariat bed utility package, you will not get the Pro Access tailgate. If you are an unscheduled order and you want that bed utility package on a Lariat or King Ranch Platinum, then you will get the Pro Access tailgate here on out. So that will start for April production. So that's good news for a lot of people that are wanting that. So if you're already scheduled, bad news for those orders. So you might want to reorder if your dealer will allow you to. So here's some other notes that they have on the F-150. It says onboard scales and smart hitch will no longer be included. You know what? I'm going to hold off on that because we're going to talk about it during the dealer news updates, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in the dealer news update, so I'm going to bypass on that. But also, it does say trimmer is now available for retail ordering, and then stock ordering is available now as of yesterday. Pro Access tailgate, told you about that. And then, yeah, we're going to talk about this. It says stock orders with the tow haul package will be converted from job 1 to job 2 without the onboard scales. Again, we'll talk about that in retail orders with the tow haul package will be converted from job 1 to job 2 with onboard scales. So I guess maybe I should kind of include this for those that aren't watching this live. They're watching the scheduling notes part of the video. So let me go ahead and go through this. Onboard scales with the smart hitch will no longer be included within the tow haul package on the Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and Tremor. Onboard scales with the smart hitch will now be offered as a freestanding option and that's option 86S. On Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and Trimmer orders, equipped with the tow haul. So you will still need the tow haul package to get the smart onboard scales and smart hitch, but it's not going to be included in this tow haul. You'll need to make sure you add that option. So not all dealers will know that. So you want to make sure you educate your dealers on that. This change only impacts unscheduled 24 model year F-150 orders. And new orders placed beginning February 16th, 2024 after 4 p.m. So that was last Friday. 2024 model year F-150 orders that have already scheduled will not be impacted by this change. So they will still get that onboard scales and smart hitch. So there you go. All right. All right. I held it off long enough. Let's go to 24 model year Super Duty here. There's currently 22,647 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up for the 24 model year Super Duty. They are scheduling this week at Kentucky Truck Plant for the weeks of March 4th through April 8th, and then at Ohio Assembly Plant from April 1st and the week of April 8th. So there you go. And then it says they're actually making dealers. Yes, I say making. Sorry for calling you out on this. They're making dealers take XL or XLT 6.8 liter gas orders. We had to put like 20. They had to, some of our allocations went to those orders. We have other people that need their builds, right? We have the Platinums, the King Ranches, and the limited people that need theirs built. Don't take all of our allocations just so you can start building 6.8s when nobody wants them, right? Anyway, okay, I'm done with that. Limited availability for these following options: F350, F450, and F600. Also, limited availability for XL and Platinum version, which is funny because why XL? Also, limited availability for the 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel and the high output diesel engine, which is awesome. Also, limited availability for option 64E. That's the 18-inch machine and painted aluminum wheel that's included in the Tremor off-road package. The wheel 64J, which is a 17-inch forged polished aluminum wheel with the bright hub cover center ornaments that's standard on Lariat and Platinum F350s. Also, it's the one that's optional on the XL and XLT F350s. Wheel option 64H. That's a 17-inch forged polished aluminum wheel. That is the dually, right? The inner dually wheel. So it's the one with the 4 exterior wheels and the inner dually that are aluminum. So also the tire TGL, which is a 225/70R 19.5 traction tire that's standard on the F450s, as well as tire TD5, which is the 245/70R 19.5 G. That's the standard one on the chassis cab F600s, XL, and XLTs. So, and then the frame GBK that's been on here about every week. That is optional on the F350 two-wheel drive with the diesel engine and the 145-inch dually wheelbase and single wheelbase. Also, the wheelbase, 205-inch wheelbase, that is also limited availability. That's the one that's on the XL, XLT, 450, 550, and 600 chassis cabs. And then also the axle size. Actually, it doesn't have the axle size. Anyway. Almost skipped that. All right. The 4x4 Dana axle. We've seen that before. It's optional on the F450 and F550 and F600s. The rear axle that's optional on the F350 dually with the 6.8 liter and 7.3 engines, as well as the same the axle that's optional on the F350, 450, and 600 dualies with the 6.7 diesel engine, if you have that configuration. The low running frame PB. It's available on the F450s and F550s with the 7.3 gas engine, or on all diesel engines with 179-inch wheelbase and dual rear wheels. So we have some more wheels here. We covered some, but we have the wheel option 64A, 17-inch argent painted steel with the painted hub covers. That's the one that's standard on the XL, F250, and F350s, as well as 64F, which is an 18-inch argent painted steel wheel that is standard on the F350 single rear wheel regular cabs and optional on F350 XLs. And then the onboard scales and smart hitch, that's optional on the XL, XLT, and Lariat pickups. Not available on the two-wheel drives on those. That's limited availability, as well as the platform running boards. It's optional on the XL, XLT, and Lariat. Pickup and chassis cabs. Also limited availability for the Ford Pro upfit integration system. That's optional on all pickups. And then the tail lights, it says LO series, available on the XL, XLT with or without the onboard scales and smart hitch. And then the camera harness with the rear camera, with the rear view camera. So that'd be your chassis cab ones. So that's also limited availability. Okay. That's all the Super Duty. Moving on to the last one, 24 model year Transit. There's currently 6,116 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the Transit if you want to place an order. Double check with your dealers for allocations. Like we get very low allocations at our dealership. So you want to look for a dealership that gets plenty of allocations. They have limited availability for the 3.5 EcoBoost engine, just like it has been for a long time. They are needing Transit Trail orders. So if you're thinking of putting one of those in, you could probably get scheduled fast with a dealership that has an allocation, that is. They are scheduled for the weeks of April 1st, the week of April 8th, and the week of April 15th. And it does say we encourage dealers to submit orders with the 3.5 non-EcoBoost V6 engine. Also, limited availability for the EcoBoost engine. Also, the E-Transit, as well as the low roof van, the cargo one, and the medium roof van, cargo van, the medium roof passenger van, and the digital rear view camera, option 90C, as well as the 12-seat passenger configuration. There you go. All right. And that's all of our scheduling information for this week.